What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bridges, and going back to Fakkeltog on a Friday, but the 1980 album. And I did want to mention, Sofia told me that people can't hit a notification bell for particular deep dives. I didn't realize that, or like playlist, I should say. I thought you could do that, so that is obviously unfortunate. I would just say maybe like the best way to go about it then would be just to bookmark the playlist in question and then just check it every few days or at least once a week or something like that to see if I've updated the playlist, so you don't have to scroll. Now shout out to Sofia and Michaela and some other people who go through pretty much everything I post. You are vastly appreciated. But yeah, I didn't know that, and I always thought that you could do that, so yeah, that would be my recommendation, just to bookmark it. So nevertheless, the next tune is The Stranger's Town, which I'm interested by the phrase. It's a possessive, so it's the stranger's town, and yet to call someone a stranger is to say they're unknown, or at least they're unfamiliar to others. So if it's the town that the stranger is in, it seems odd that they're being described in that way. Now, I suppose someone could be about and around all the time, but no one knows really who they are. Like, I don't know them, I don't know them. So it feels like it could be maybe in that place. I expect it to be more complicated than just a simple character, whatever the nature of the town and the stranger. But as I said, it almost feels like there's a oxymoronical quality to it, because if it's someone's town, you would expect them to not be a stranger in that town. Nevertheless, let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Bridges, and I should mention, Sofia mentioned this tune is a bit longer, so prepare yourself for that. But yes, this is Bridges, and the track is The Stranger's Town from Fakkeltog, 1980.
Time consisting emptiness, takes away from all the rest. I myself find that surface. You don't quit your job, you don't lose your mind, like I do, like I do, like I do. Those clouds are upside down. This is the stranger's town. Do you feel loneliness? I'm no fear for the newcomer guest. Time consisting emptiness, takes away from all the rest.
I love this. I wish it lasted longer.
You don't quit your job, you don't lose your mind.
Obviously a bit of a Baroque feel
like
too.
I do, like I do. Those clouds are upside down. This is the strangest town.
like I might sneeze. Hopefully not, but I'll warn you in advance. I like this interlude a lot.
Wilderness, thousands and thousands trying to come in. Come out of your glory, congregation.
Like Cold War stuff, maybe?
Doomed to live to try to love. Stop the ships, cars and trains. Start silently a cruel summer night to honor rain. Blows the world
So many different keyboard configurations. This one is like a bit psychedelic, but it had that like arena organ feel. There's like a real like harpsichord one.
City. The vagrants get the song slow and simple.
The Vagrant. I heard it. Sounds like a Hendrix tune or something now. It's just- A magical little tune. I guess it's not little, is it?
I'm resisting emptiness, chased away from all the rest. East to the west.
I've been waiting for this section the whole tune. I'll take that. That was a lot longer than before.
You don't lose your mind. Those
Holy smokes. How many minutes was that? It was almost 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes. So, yeah, definitely a long tune, definitely one that had a improvisational or jam feel, like let's keep exploring different configurations, different sections where we're returning motifs and themes but articulating them differently. The drumming through most of the track, just crazy syncopated and complex rhythms, all the different keyboard idioms. I particularly like the harpsichord one with that Baroque sort of feel, but that definitely was not the only one. And some moments where the keyboards in particular flourished. And I mentioned as it really sort of built to a crescendo, and I think that was Paul. I don't know the degree to which their vocals are mostly Paul, but with some backing stuff from the other folks. But if either way, the vocals turned spoken, and it felt like, I don't know, something like Hey Joe, where Hendrix is just kind of talking. Obviously that one has crazy guitar playing, and guitar playing not so much like this track, but it had this crazy psychedelic rock free jam, the singer just kind of improvising lines. It had that sort of feel, but also there were moments where the vocals, spoken or otherwise, would sort of echo off into the distance and then they'd come back. So yeah, really interesting production on the track. And again, major Doors vibes, of course. A couple moments where I felt a little bit of a Beatles vibe, and then again, I'm mentioning Hendrix, and perhaps the Jimi Hendrix Experience would be the best way to say it, the bigger backing band. But yeah, obviously the Doors influence was particularly notable because it had that sort of, that classic rock meets keyboard-driven rock type of feel. And there were even a couple vocal moments where it felt it was sort of in the Doors, Jim Morrison territory. I almost said Morrissey. I did just do a reaction to Morrissey right before this, so you'll have to understand in that regard. Nevertheless, a crazy tune, and one that, I absolutely am happy that Aha is what came a few years later. But in a way, I wish that the Bridges was a continuing project. I guess if you're an international superstar trio, then you perhaps don't have time for too many side projects. But yeah, ultimately this song, and perhaps the last couple I mentioned, and even this one, the recording quality, you can tell it's still not a group that's working in the most extensive and expensive studio. But ultimately, I will say the last couple tunes have definitely sounded a bit more well and full in terms of the production, or well produced and full. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but that does tend to happen after good tracks, so I'll take that as a positive indication that my brain is a bit bamboozled by the tune I just heard.